Hello students, Happy New Year. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday break. Welcome to the first art project of 2021. Today we are going to create art with bubble letters. This project will help us review the elements of art we have learned together so far. Let's begin. Today you will be needing several sheets of printer paper to practice drawing and review, a pencil with a really good eraser, pencil sharpener, and colored pencils. For the actual art project, you will be needing all of these materials, plus white cardstock paper and a black marker. First, let's review the elements of art we worked on together last fall. If you would like to draw this with me, you will need a sheet of printer paper, a pencil, and colored pencils. I will be doing most of this in marker so you can see it better in the video. In our first art lesson, we learned about lines. Lines are the path of a moving point. We can make lines slant, curve, zigzag, and spiral. Lines have many possibilities in artwork. When our lines come back to where we started, we created a shape. We worked with shapes when we made our tree collage, remember? We can also draw shapes to look as though they are popping off of the page with forms. Forms give our art dimension, like the ones we practiced drawing and creating when we worked on our 3D pumpkins. If you are having trouble drawing along with me, that's okay. Follow along as best as you can. This is all review and practice. With our lesson on texture, with the outdoor leaves and indoor items, we learned we can create texture on paper by transferring it or drawing what looks like real life on paper. Curving lines with a point can create a water wave. Curved lines close together can create hair on a person's head or the fur of a stuffed animal. The last piece we worked on together was our color wheel. This color wheel will come in handy for us in our future projects together, including the one we will be working on today. Here I am coloring the primary colors red, yellow, and blue, and the secondary colors they create when you combine them together: green, orange, and violet. I am also labeling the colors that are warm tones and cool tones. These are the 5 elements of art we have learned so far. We still have space and value to learn, but for today, let's focus on these 5 with the bubble letter art we will be creating today. Let's practice drawing some bubble letters. I will show you how to draw the word joy in printed bubble letters. Then we will practice drawing it in cursive. Think of which word or which style you would like for your work of art today. To write joy in bubble letters, first I will write it in large print but with dash lines. Draw these dash lines lightly as we will be erasing them later. If you have trouble drawing letters in dash lines, that's okay. Here I write the letter Y in solid lines and then create spaces on the line with my eraser for the dash lines. We need these dash lines because they are only here as a guide. They will all be erased later. To create the bubble letters, we are now going to draw a solid line around the letters J, O, Y. Notice I do not draw a bubble line in between the letters that are too close together. I'm just slowly working my way around the entire word. The dot on the J is too close to my bubble letter, so I am going to move it up and draw a circle around it. I also do not want to forget to create a solid, smaller O inside here. Once you are finished creating the solid lines, carefully erase the dash lines. Now you have your first word in bubble letters. You can continue working on our bubble letters in print, but if you would like to try a different style, draw with me as I practice writing bubble letters in cursive with the word joy. Here I wrote the word joy in dash lines again, but in cursive. Remember, draw your word lightly. Then do the same thing again. Draw a solid line around the word joy. Cursive is a little bit trickier with bubble letters, as there are more smaller shapes you will need to create to make sure you get the inside loops in the J, O, and Y. Also remember, you can use any word you want. You can even write your name in bubble letters for this art project if you would like. Once you are done, erase the dash lines again. Here are the 2 examples of how to write bubble letters. It is good to practice these, as you can use them to practice drawing designs later around the word you choose to use for your art. Now I am going to begin my actual word for the art piece on cardstock. I decided on writing the word love in cursive. Again, feel free to write your name or a different word you would like to use for your art. Just remember, the simpler the word, the easier it will be to design. If you have trouble drawing one solid shape around your word, feel free to use short strokes with your pencil as I am doing here. Connecting short lines together can create one long smooth line. Once your word is drawn to your liking, draw over it again in black marker. Pause the video here and ask for help if you need to. Then continue the video when you are ready for the next step. Once you outlined your word in black marker, it's time to get really creative. I am going to show you a fun technique on how to blend colors together and create texture and value to your work. I chose to use the cool toned colors, green, blue, and violet, to fill in the word love. You can color your word however you like, but if you would like to learn how I did mine, this is what I did. I began with the color green and stopped coloring green halfway through the letter O. Then I overlapped the color blue with the green to make them look like they're blending together, see? I continued coloring with blue and stopped halfway through the letter V. Then I blended the edge of the blue with violet and completed the letter E with just violet. Overlapping the colors together gives a really neat blending illusion. I also practiced blending my colors together doing the exact same method, changing from the cool tones to the warm tones as shown here. I found it looks best blended when you overlap the colors together in the middle of a letter. Once I finished coloring my word, I did the exact same method around it, but in reverse. As you can see here, I started shading around the letter E with the color green. Then I blended the edge of my green shading with blue. Then I blended the edge of the blue with violet. Now the color of the green letter L is surrounded by the color violet. I think the reverse colors make the word pop out, don't you? To finish coloring my piece, I decided to reverse it once more. Starting at the left of my cardstock, I filled in all the white space with green. To add texture and bolder colors, I colored with my pencil in one direction. Then I colored over the same areas again in the opposite diagonal direction. Crossing lines like this in two directions creates shadow. This method is called cross-hatching, but we will practice this more when we learn about the element of art, value. Again, I blend blue with green and violet with blue. Be careful when you get to the edges of your work. Remember to protect your workspace. This is what my piece looked like when I finished coloring it. Pause here in the video to complete your coloring. Then press play when you are ready for the final steps. To make my piece pop, I decided to draw some lines, shapes, and forms around the word love. Get creative and draw designs with me. You do not have to do exactly what I do. Make it your own. You can even draw designs inside your bubble letters if you would like. Once your piece is complete, don't forget, sign your artwork and date it in the back. You have just completed the first art project of 2021. Congratulations! Feel free to frame your piece with colored paper if you would like. Or maybe fold it in half and make it a nice greeting card for a loved one. Until next time, take care and stay creative.